My selfish family treated me as if I were invisible, until I revealed the truth online. What followed made them regret ever dismissing me. I'm Maya, a 24-year-old woman and the youngest in a family of 5. Growing up, I might as well have been a stranger in my own home because I never felt like I belonged. My parents made it obvious who their favorites were, and it wasn't me. My older brothers, Aryan and Rohan, received all the love and attention. Aryan, the eldest, was their pride and joy. Intelligent, charismatic, he was the one they bragged about at every family event. Aryan landed this incredible internship, they'd say. You get the idea. Rohan, meanwhile, was the golden boy in another way. Athletic, outgoing, the guy everyone adored. His room was filled with trophies and my parents loved showing them off to visitors. And me? I was just Maya, the quiet one in the background. The "oh, you're here too" child. It wasn't that they were cruel, they just didn't care enough to notice me most of the time. I first realized how different things were when I was around 9. One memory stands out. School ended early due to a storm, and all the other kids were picked up by their parents. I waited and waited, clutching my bag, watching as the classroom emptied. I was the last one left. The janitor eventually asked if my parents were coming. They must be stuck in traffic, I mumbled. After another hour, with darkness falling, I gave up and walked home, drenched because I didn't even have an umbrella. When I arrived, my mom was on the couch, flipping through a magazine. "Oh, you're back. Dinner's in the fridge," she said, without even looking up. No concern, no apology, nothing. This wasn't a one-time thing. It happened constantly. My parents forgot to pick me up so often that my teacher started offering me rides home. "Should I call them?" she'd ask. I always said no. What was the point? Birthdays were no better. My mom would throw parties, but they were never for me. She'd invite her friends and their kids, not mine. Once, I overheard her say, "Maya doesn't really have friends anyway." I stood frozen in the hallway, then retreated to my room until the party ended. Aryan and Rohan weren't any kinder. Aryan mocked me relentlessly. If I got a good grade, he'd sneer, "What, do you want a trophy?" Rohan barely acknowledged me unless it was to roll his eyes or tell me to stop being annoying. The worst part? Outsiders thought we were the perfect family. Relatives would gush, "You're so lucky to have such a supportive, well-off family." Lucky? Seriously? By middle school, I figured if I wanted my parents' attention, I'd have to do something extraordinary. So I joined clubs, worked harder in school, and signed up for every activity possible. Maybe if I excelled, they'd finally see me. It half worked. They'd say, "Good job," but it was always casual, like checking a box. Meanwhile, Aryan was prepping for college, and Rohan was winning more trophies. Compared to them, I felt like an afterthought. One year, I made the honor roll and taped the certificate to the fridge, hoping for recognition. The next day, it was gone, replaced with Rohan's soccer schedule. When I confronted my parents, my dad shrugged. "We're busy, Maya. You know that." "Busy doing what?" "You went to Aryan's debate last week," I shot back. "Aryan's competitions are important. We can't be everywhere." I stopped trying after that. In high school, I focused on building my own future. I became valedictorian and sent my parents graduation invites, reminding them repeatedly. On the day of my speech, I scanned the crowd. Their seats were empty. They'd gone to one of Rohan's regular basketball games instead. Sitting in my car afterward, clutching my diploma, I felt numb. No matter what I did, they'd never care. That was the day I decided to leave. College was my escape. I got a full scholarship because I knew they wouldn't help financially. Aryan got a new car at graduation. Rohan's dorm was fully paid for. I got a congrats text. At first, college was tough. Classes, work, figuring out life on my own. But it was freeing. No one dismissed me here. I started building a life without them. Occasionally, my mom would text passive-aggressively, "Haven't heard from you? Too busy for family?" Once, she left a voicemail saying she missed me, but her tone made it clear she didn't mean it. When she asked if I'd come home for the holidays, I said I couldn't afford it. Her response, "If you managed your money better, you wouldn't have that problem." I laughed bitterly. I was working 2 jobs and taking loans. Meanwhile, my brother's social media showed a world where I didn't exist. Aryan flaunted his high-paying internship. Rohan posted game highlights with my parents front and center. No mention of me. Things came to a head during a holiday visit. The moment I walked in, it was clear I was an outsider. Dinner was all about Aryan's job and Rohan's games. When Aryan smirked, "Wait, what are you even studying again?" I snapped. Later, I overheard my dad tell a neighbor, "We've got 2 kids, Aryan and Rohan. They keep us busy." 2 kids, not 3. I confronted him. "Guess I don't count anymore." He dismissed me. You're always off doing your own thing. What do you expect? That night, I left and never looked back. I cut them off completely, unfriended them, changed my last name, updated emergency contacts, but it wasn't enough. I needed the truth out there. So I posted my story on Reddit. Every detail, every hurt. It blew up. Strangers validated my pain, sharing their own stories. My parents panicked. My mom left a seething voicemail. "How dare you air family drama?" Aryan emailed, calling me immature. Rohan texted, "You're making things harder for everyone." Their friends started questioning them. My mom posted a tearful Facebook rant playing the victim. Relatives messaged me saying I was too harsh, but I stood my ground. Then came a cease and desist letter accusing me of defamation. I consulted a lawyer who assured me I was safe. I updated my Reddit post with proof. Screenshots, the legal threat, the empty graduation seats. The support was overwhelming. At work, a coworker mentioned seeing the post. I braced for judgment, but she said, "That took guts. I'm sorry you went through that." My parents' facade cracked. Their friends distanced themselves. Meanwhile, I hosted a holiday dinner with my real family, my friends. They tried to silence me, but I reclaimed my story. It's not perfect, but for the first time, I'm in control. And that's a victory. After my Reddit post went viral, I thought the worst was over. I was wrong. My family didn't just fade into the background, they launched a full-scale campaign to discredit me. But this time, I was ready. The backlash. My parents' lawyer letter had been a bluff, but they didn't stop there. My mom, the master of playing the victim, took to Facebook again with a carefully curated post. It breaks my heart when a child twists the past for attention. We gave Maya everything: love, opportunities, a home. Yet she chooses to vilify us. Pray for families torn apart by lies. The comments were a mix of blind support and skepticism. One aunt wrote, "You've always been such a devoted mother," but others weren't fooled. An old high school friend of mine commented, "Funny how Maya's lies include photo proof of your empty seats at her graduation." My brothers, Aryan and Rohan, doubled down too. Aryan sent another email. "You're destroying mom and dad's reputation. Delete the post, or I'll make sure you regret it." Rohan, ever the passive one, texted, "Why can't you just let this go? You're embarrassing us." I didn't respond, but I did screenshot everything. The turning point. Then something unexpected happened. A distant cousin, Priya, messaged me privately. "I always wondered why you were so quiet at family gatherings. Now I get it. Your post made me realize how much they ignored you. I'm sorry I never noticed." Her words hit me harder than I expected. For years, I'd assumed everyone was complicit in my family's neglect, but some just hadn't seen it, until now. Meanwhile, my parents' social circle started unraveling. Their church group, which had initially rallied around them, began asking uncomfortable questions. One member even pulled my mom aside and said, "If Maya felt this neglected, maybe there's truth to it." The final blow. Desperate to regain control, my parents made a critical mistake. They gave an interview to a local news blog, painting me as an ungrateful, troubled daughter. Big mistake. The article backfired. Readers dug into the comments, calling out their hypocrisy. Someone even linked my Reddit post, and suddenly the entire town was talking. Then, the ultimate irony. Aryan's prestigious internship got wind of the drama. His employer, a big-name firm with a strict ethics policy, quietly let him go. Rohan's sports sponsors started distancing themselves too. Karma? Absolutely. My life now. I won't lie. The fallout was exhausting, but it was also liberating. I cut ties completely. Changed my number, blocked every toxic relative, and even moved to a new city. Found a real family. My friends, my co-workers, even strangers from Reddit became my support system. Finally healed. Therapy helped me realize none of this was my fault. I wasn't the problem. They were. Last month, I got a letter from my dad. No apology, just a cold, "We're willing to move past this if you admit you exaggerated." I burned it. The lesson. Sharing my truth wasn't about revenge. It was about taking back the narrative they'd stolen from me. And in the end, the people who mattered believed me. As for my parents, their perfect family image is shattered, and that's a win I'll cherish forever. If you enjoyed this story and felt the emotions behind it, don't forget to give it a like, share it with others, and subscribe to the channel for more real-life experiences and heartfelt stories. Your support means the world, and it helps us bring more content like this to you. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.